everyone, and welcome to episode 149 of Ask MandRproductions. I'd like to start off this video with a huge thank you for 300,000 subscribers. That is incredible. So that's a great goal to have met for 2020. Hopefully next year, my goal is to hit 500,000. So we'll see how that goes, but that's kind of my next big milestone, I would say. Anyway, if you guys enjoy the series, a like is always appreciated. And if you have a question that you want answered on next week's episode, leave it down in the comments section below. And as a friendly reminder, I only take questions from the most recent episode. So if you comment it on any other video, it will not be considered for the next video. I've just been seeing a lot of people ask on other videos recently. I'm like, okay, I should probably say it again because I used to say it all the time and I stopped saying it. Anyway, big week coming up, actually. A Clone Army video coming out on Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern. And then on Saturday, I have my very first custom LEGO Star Wars CMF series video. One of hopefully many, many to come in collaboration with Tommy C. Bricks. So keep your eye out for that stuff. A lot of big stuff happening and I'm very, very excited about it. Anyway, first question from Lincoln. He says, should I get Diagon Alley or wait for the USS Gunship? So this is not a question I'm going to be able to give you a straight answer to. It's not a question anyone can really give you a straight answer to because nobody knows how much the USS Gunship is going to cost, what it's going to look like, what minifigures it may or may not include. There's a lot of question marks with that particular set versus the Diagon Alley that we already know is $400 and what it looks like and all that jazz. So the thing here is something that I see a lot in tech, right? So if you're going to buy the new iPhone, right, there's always next year's iPhone. Should you buy this iPhone or should you wait and get the next iPhone? And that's a tough thing, right? Because there's always better things on the horizon, and if you get caught in that cycle, you'll just never buy anything. So to me, with this particular case, I think if you can only buy one of these, you should really wait for the USS Gunship to be released or at least have images revealed, and then you can actually know what you're dealing with or comparing, because otherwise you're going to be going in blind to the Gunship, having maybe foregone the Diagon Alley. And so I just think it'd be best in this particular case to wait. LOL says, would you want to see more Clone Wars 2003 sets like Anakin's Customs Jedi Starfighter? Dude, absolutely. I would love to see more of that stuff. I need to do a set ideas video on that, actually. I need to go back and rewatch it, and I'll do a video on that actually kind of soon. I'll get that done. But in that same vein, I think that it's unlikely that LEGO will ever do more sets from that particular series because it was unfortunately decanonized, or it's no longer canon. So as much as I would love to see more stuff like that, and I think many other people would too, it's just not something that seems highly likely going into future years, given that it's no longer part of the Star Wars canon, and you can already tell they're really scared to do Clone Wars stuff to begin with now for whatever reason, even though it's like literally the most popular thing other than the Mandalorian right now. They're just like, hey, let's make another TIE Fighter, X-Wing Imperial Shuttle, another Millennium Falcon Microfighter, AT-AT Microfighter, let's all remakes, baby. Just a Rag says, do you think LEGO will make a new mold for astromech droids anytime soon, maybe with a movable head or third leg? So I have no idea if they will, like, and I couldn't tell you if I really think they will. I don't know. Maybe, potentially, sure. But I think it's something they should do, right? I think that's important, that they should go in and change this astromech droid that has been exactly the same, bar some print changes, which have been very beneficial to it and made it look a lot better, for the last 21 years at this point. You can add a movable head. You can add that third leg. I think the movable head is more important. I think that that's the more important thing to come in and change. I think you can do that with the body piece. I think if you change the body piece and you give it like a little swiveling thing on top, I think you'd be good. But that third leg is a little bit trickier because the third leg would either require like a special piece that you can stick into the bottom of the body, or it would require a completely new mold, but it's probably not going to be something that's retractable. Like, there's a lot of variables there, so I think that's the bigger reason that a third leg is unlikely, but the movable head should certainly happen. It would be great to see newer astromech droids changed up. Stud Studio says, I watched an Ask MandR video from like a year and a half ago and I was amazed with the upgrading quality since then. I know from other YouTubers that this is true in their case. Do you ever go back and watch old videos and feel embarrassed by the quality of them? Of course I feel embarrassed about my old videos, but that's a good thing, right? That means you've made changes, usually for the better, and have gotten higher quality stuff and gotten better at what you do. And so as long as you're seeing improvements, your older stuff is going to continue to look worse and worse. And in general, that's a good thing because that means you're improving, right? You want to look back on it and be like, well, that maybe wasn't so good compared to what you're doing now. That's a good thing. Like, I'm using a much better camera on this series now than I was like a year and a half ago. So it's certainly something that you want to look back on and see that your stuff isn't as good as it used to be, because otherwise you're not improving. It's not necessarily bad if you're not improving. If you already have really good quality, you're just really good at what you do. But if you become stagnant, that's also not great. The Studded Brick says, what type of special are you going to do for 300,000 if you do one? I am not going to do any type of special video. However, I think we really could do something special right here, right now. Would you all please join me in a 300,000 second moment of silence to honor 300,000 subscribers? Gabe2400 says, should LEGO make more military sets so it's not always left up to websites like Brick Arms and Brickmania? Should they? I mean, sure, but it's never going to happen. LEGO has a very strict rule against making anything that has to do with modern military. It will never happen, right? I was surprised to see 35 people upvoted your comment. I thought it was pretty well known that LEGO will never make military stuff, but I'll reiterate it for you. They will never make military stuff. It's just something from like day one they have always been against, and even anything, even like the Osprey that's down there, that has come even close to being modern military, they'll axe that. They won't do that. So, no. I don't think they necessarily should, because it goes against their brand values. Although the sets would certainly be profitable, I'm sure it would be a nice market for them, but it's just not something they're willing to do. Merciful Perk 856 says, what is the longest time a LEGO Star Wars set has been temporarily out of stock on LEGO's website? And I certainly don't know the exact answer to this, because it's not like there's a database where it's like, hey, this is the longest something has been temporarily out of stock. But I do have something that has been out of stock since like August that I really want them to bring back, is that the mosaics. I have been waiting for the mosaic sets to come back in stock for LEGO Star Wars on lego.com, specifically because I can use my LEGO Ambassador stipend to get the last 4 mosaic sets that I need to be able to do the review on those sets. So they have just been out of stock on lego.com, I believe, since like the end of August, and they have not been back yet. So they'll be back. It's just a matter of time. I hate playing the waiting game, but that's just how it is with the mosaics right now. But I've been waiting to review them. They are the last 2020 Star Wars set that I have to review, and it's just waiting until they come back in stock at this point. So those haven't been in stock for like 2.5, 3 months. That's a pretty good contender probably for that one. Mo the Clone says, what do you think of the new holiday special trailer? Do you think it will be good? Could we expect any sets based off of it? So yeah, the new trailer looked great. There was a lot of really cool stuff, and I really enjoyed watching it. It looks like it's going to be certainly a good piece of LEGO Star Wars media, certainly better than like the Yoda Chronicles, or what was the other one from a couple years ago, the Freemaker Adventures. Like, I didn't really like that stuff, but I think this one's going to be fun and different. Looks like there's some like time travel aspect to it. It's not going to be like a canon Star Wars story, so don't get all riled up about it, but it looks like a fun thing that's going to be coming out, I think, in like less than a week at this point. So I'm really excited for that to happen. As far as seeing any sets based off it, probably not. That type of stuff doesn't seem like it's something that would typically happen. But they did make kind of some mock-ups or alternate builds of some summer 2020 LEGO Star Wars sets into like Christmas builds, which was kind of neat. They did it with like the File First Battle Pack, the General Grievous Starfighter, I think the TIE Dagger. Like, they did it with a few sets there, and I thought that was kind of cool. It's just not something that we're actually going to be seeing released. So you could go and build those if you want. You're just not going to be able to buy them, and I certainly don't think we'll see any like new vehicles in the holiday special that LEGO made specifically for it that they're going to be going and selling. That type of thing just isn't going to be happening here. We do technically have something based off it with the advent calendar, though. We get some of the figures from it, which I think is great. So technically, yes, but not really too much in that way. Now, while we're at it with the holiday special, LEGO also released a whole, like, Javier Ramirez says, would you give money to a person to build some LEGO sets? For example, if a new wave came out and you want to review it fast, you would make the process faster, or for a big UCS set, or would you want to do the build process? So typically, no. I rarely have ever had anyone else build my LEGO sets. I might have paid my brother one time. I think it was the Droid Boost set, actually. I almost always build my LEGO sets. I have no reason to really pay anyone else to do it. That isn't something I'm necessarily opposed to, should the situation call for it. Like in the case of, like, I really just for whatever reason really need to get some videos done. Like, let's say I'm going on a trip like the next day and I need all of these sets built now. Hell yeah, I'll pay my brother. It just needs to be done, right? But like, in most cases, it's not that big a deal where I can't spend the hour or 2 hours to build a set, right? So not something I'm entirely opposed to the concept of, but typically I do enjoy building my own sets. And I also think it's important to like know how the set is built and how it performs structurally, and if the instructions make sense. And, you know, sometimes there's just hidden features that you wouldn't know about otherwise if you didn't build it yourself, type of thing. So I think that stuff's just important. LEGO Production says, what is the most forgettable LEGO theme in your opinion? So the problem is, I forgot. Big Frickin' Zombie says, would you have a LEGO content house with other LEGO YouTubers? At this point, probably not gonna happen. I've talked about this before, but it has been conceptualized, certainly. I've thought about it for a while, but I just don't think it's gonna happen. It's very possible and perhaps likely that when I do move out, I get a roommate. I won't name them, but yeah, there'll be a roommate at my house, and it'll be for videos and stuff, and we can do whatever, and that would be great. But the other thing is, when I get my own house, you're one of my LEGO YouTube buddies. Like, you can come whenever the hell you want. Like, I don't care. So that's another thing, is like the collaboration possibilities with that. Like, dude, fly in, come stay at my house, we'll hang out, make some fun videos. Like, I'm down. So that type of thing will certainly be happening, which is something I'm very excited for. Baba Tunde says, will there be any more Mandalorian LEGO sets coming soon? There is one Mandalorian LEGO set coming in early 2021 that we know of. Set number 75299, given a price of $30, I believe, with 276 pieces. And I'm actually going to be talking about that in my rumor video tomorrow. So check out my 2021 rumor roundup video tomorrow. I have a little bit of speculation on what exactly I think that is. So I'm going to save that for tomorrow's video, though, because I think it fits better in there. Nathan Watson says, what do you think of the Ben Solo minifigure leak? Do you think it's real? So that picture was an image. I know what you're talking about. Basically, there was an image of a Ben Solo figure from episode 9 with like the little hole in him, that he had been stabbed by Rey or whatever. That image was fan made that the Lego Mexico page, I think, ended up using, even though it was a fan made art. So that was weird that they used that, but that's not like a real minifigure that's happening. But a real minifigure that should happen for May the 4th, 2021 is Ben Swolo from the Star Wars Holiday Special. Lego, for the love of God and all that is holy, please bring a Lego Ben Swolo into this world in physical form that people can get somehow. Please. Like, it's so cool. It would be amazing. Shax says, do you think that Endor Bunker is a possibility for late 2021? No, I don't think it is. I think Endor Bunker is like a 2024 set, assuming it's a Master Builder Series set. If it's a set that ends up being like a regular retail set, then yeah, it's going to come out whenever. But I think that's like a 2024 release, because LEGO's been doing these Master Builder Series sets every other year, at least in the second half of the year. And then they do the larger, like, $500, $600, $700, $800 UCS sets in the back half of the year every other year on the opposite years of those Master Builder Series sets. And 2021 is going to be one of the big sets years. So we'll see what that holds, but right now that's what my best guess would be, is that it's not going to be some type of play set. It's going to be a very nice, large display set of something from Star Wars, obviously. Ender Guy Production says, thoughts on chairs? You know, who needs chairs? Let's do the rest of the episode standing up. Chairs, dude, chairs are so obsolete. Like, stools are even better than chairs, bro. You can't escape the fan now. There is no moving a mirror thing to not show the fan. Well, it turns out I only really have one more question anyway, and it's As Plays. He wants to know my thoughts on the second episode of The Mandalorian, and of course, Mandalorian spoilers ahead. Anyway, episode 2 was another episode that, you know, we're moving along in the story, obviously, but not too much, which is nice. Like, you can't just, like, obviously they could just do one episode and be like, here's the story, it starts here, ends here, and it's over. Like, that's kind of, that would be a movie, I guess, but that would be kind of dumb. Like, Mandalorian is going to explore things and do fun things, as much as I don't, like, want every episode to be like that, but that's kind of what it is right now. And so in this episode, they kind of got lost with this lady who can't even speak English, and then Baby Yoda was eating her eggs, and that was all wild, which was fun and cute as hell. But to me, the biggest takeaway from episode 2 of The Mandalorian is that Star Wars has historically lacked spiders. And now there's a ton of spiders, and now we can make a LEGO Star Wars spider set. Every great LEGO theme, like Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter, have a spider set, and Star Wars hasn't yet had the ability to have a set with spiders in it. So now they can put spiders in. I'm mostly joking, but part of me is somewhat excited for the potential of a spidery LEGO Star Wars set. I just feel like it'd be cool and different from anything we've ever gotten before, because there have been no spiders in Star Wars. So it'd be like a giant white spider, probably some type of hot tub for the character that doesn't speak English. I don't know her name or anything, or the species. That is it for this Ask MNR, guys. Again, if you have a question that you want answered on next week's episode, leave in the comments section down below. And stay tuned. Wednesday is going to be a 2021 rumor roundup with some new info and speculation. Friday is going to be my Clone Army. Saturday is going to be my first custom CMF series video, and Sunday, I didn't tell you this earlier, but it's going to be my punishment video, finally, from over the summer. So keep your eye out for that stuff, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for 300,000 subs. Deuces.